On this episode of Tyrsky, I'm going to disable the clutch from my Honda BF 2.3. So why am I disabling the clutch from my Honda? We use the outboard for our dinghy, and I mostly use the dinghy for fishing and mainly for trolling. And I bought the engine last summer used from a friend of mine, and I got it quite cheap, but there's a problem with it because it goes too fast. The engine has the kind of a centrifugal clutch, so you have to rev it quite hard to get it going. And when I get it going, it goes something like 4 knots, and it's quite loud also. And I want to use it for slower speeds, for something like 2 knots. So the parts for this modification cost something like 55 or 56 euros, and it's basically it's an original Honda part. I will put the part number into the description below, so you can check it from there if you want this modification for yourself. And it is just something as simple as this. So the axle goes there, and I attach this into the flywheel of the engine. I believe flywheel. I haven't yet opened the engine, but it seems so. And then there's 2 8mm bolts that will attach it. By the way, I was told that the same part, this is not for this engine, the part that I'm installing, but it's the exactly same part for the 2 horsepower version of this engine and the 2.3, so it's all the same. You can use both, or you can use it to both engines. So, first of all, I'm gonna probably need to remove the engine cover like that. So now this is pretty much disassembled, so I remove this cover from the inside, so then this is basically the clutch, you know, that's the outside where the centrifugal clutch will grab into, and there's the actual clutch. So you see there in the middle there's 2 bolts holding the it looks like a drum brake assembly, sort of. So I'm gonna remove those 2 bolts and the clutch, and I'm gonna put this in besides them. So it's I celebrated it too soon because I still need to take this rolling housing away from here, I think, because the axle otherwise can't get to the spot where it needs to be, and I need to go buy some tools to get it out. So see you in a while. So I went to the store where I usually buy my cheap tools, but they didn't have any cheap tools, so I had to buy a good tool. So there's this lock ring in here, so that's why I needed to buy a Knipex for it. So it is loose. And probably you just have to hit it out. Where's the rubber mallet? Now it started to move. Just a little bit more, like that. So there's the whole bearing assembly. Yeah. So here's the bearing, and the axle goes into there. So I'm just gonna remove this. Where's the where did I put the clutch assembly? So this used to be here, and it was a centrifugal thing. So there's this spring, and when this starts to turn, these clutch packs expand, and then there's traction in here, and the boat starts to move. But I want to get rid of this, so I'm gonna put this aside. I'm gonna pack it in a bag later, and then we're gonna start to assemble it back together. Yeah, so let's get back to the floor. Seems that everything went well. You see, when I pull the starting cord over here, the propeller is already moving. So that's what I wanted to do. So yeah, like I told, that is mostly for trolling purposes. And last summer, when I first got it, we had to have a bucket on a rope behind the boat to break the boat, like a driving anchor, to slow it down. but now I think that we'll manage without, and it will be even quieter. Yeah. Yeah, this was a bit messier episode, and basically they didn't have anything to do with wooden boats, but it's important for me because it allows me to go fishing the way I want to, and yeah, it's a good thing that Honda offers a part like this, because yeah, this is really a genuine Honda part. So this is not some trickery, but something that they offer for their products. So yeah.